Okay, I think we can start. More people will be joining as we go along. So hello everyone, thanks a lot for being here in another training session from the Network of Resources webinar series. So today, as usual, we present a platform. We dive a bit deeper into the functionalities and the features they offer. So if you're joining us for the very first time, I'm Zainab Guerrao, and I'm a data application scientist at the European Space Agency. And I'm here together with my colleague Federico. Actually, it's the first time we're sharing the same room.
Yes.
It's very funny. From ESA side, from the Network of Resources initiative, which is an ESA initiative that aims at promoting the use of cloud services, resources, and platforms for Earth observation data exploitation. So today we're very happy to have another training session for EOxHub operated by EOX. We have Stefan Meisel, who's the CEO of EOX, and Tina Dolez. Sorry to destroy your names. Dolezalova. Is that right, Tina?
That's completely perfect.
Great. Who's a geospatial data scientist at EOX. So today we already had an initial presentation of the platform, an overview of the features, etc. And today we will be diving a bit deeper into some use cases and functionalities it offers, namely for educational purposes and some customization opportunities. So we cannot wait to jump in. I will leave you the floor, Tina, and please, for all the participants, as usual, write to us your questions in the chat. We can take them as the presentation advances, or at the end we have a dedicated Q&A session. And at the end of the session, Federico will be demonstrating the portal and walking you through the NOR portal and the sponsorship request process. So I give you the floor, Tina.
Thank you very much, Zainab and Federico, and welcome everyone. I will start with sharing my screen, and hopefully we can agree that we can see everything. So right now you should be able to see a landing page for a Eurodata Cube, and that's the topic we will be talking about. Can you please put a thumbs up on, or confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, we can see it perfectly.
Awesome. Thank you very much. As said, I'm a data scientist at EOX. My name is Tina, and today I would like to show you some new features or advanced features in EOxHub and potentially Eurodata Cube as we speak. This webinar is, as Zainab said, is following on the first part, which was happening some months ago, but you can find the first part on the YouTube. So I will not be covering today the complete basics, but still I will do a short introduction for those who are here for the first time. EOxHub as a platform is part of a Eurodata Cube, and today we will be focusing mainly on a EOxHub workspaces where users can actually develop a code and use the various features of the platform, together with connecting to data and accessing the data in a various processed formats. We also offer processing capabilities and also the option to collaborate and sell your algorithms which you have developed. We will be talking a little bit about these features in the future. In the second part, I will be talking about actual advanced features for end users, so you who are listening to the webinars. And in the later stages, I will also explore the special use cases which we have developed together with the other teams and are supported by the EOxHub platform. At the complete end, we will do a dive into features for potential project managers who would like to set up similar use cases or projects similar to what I will be presenting, and what EOxHub is actually offering and what kind of customization options we have. So let's jump right into what is actually the EOxHub. EOxHub, as I said, is a workspace, and you all can access it by simply registering on the eurodatacube.com website. You can find this website on the internet and follow the steps as I'm talking if you want to. So after registration, while clicking on this icon of the person, you can log in and we will approve your registration. I already registered myself, so I will just log in. But registration is very fast and straightforward as shown in the previous video. After logging in, you will be led to the dashboard from which you can access various features of the Eurodata Cube. So last time we spoke mainly about the marketplace where you can find various platform services, so mainly the EOxHub workspace, which is the topic for today, but also other services. So we spoke about a Sentinel Hub connection and a GeoDB connection. Each of these services you can activate as a free trial if you are not sure about the services you want to use and explore the features on your own. The first feature and how to actually access the EOxHub workspace is to activate the free trial, which you can do directly, or if you already have done that, you can go to the dashboard and click on Access My Workspace. After confirming and registering, we will activate the free trial for you and you can just directly jump into your analysis. So under a deployed apps, you will have a link leading you to your specific user-specific workspace with basic settings. While the Jupyter Lab is loading, I will actually stop my server to explain one more thing. So you can have various options to actually activate your profiles. I actually made a mistake and opened my different account, but I will just very quickly activate here one of the profiles, which is showing you that you can already select the customized resources which we can select and set up for you. So after you have selected the profile, your workspace will start and you will have access to standard features. So your home directory is persistent and also you can explore the notebooks available for all our users. This is something we talked about more in detail previously, so just really quickly, you can, by clicking on the execute function of the notebook, copy this template notebook to your workspace and enjoy easy access just by running the cells and see the results directly. You can also comment on the notebook, so you can see that some people are happy with the notebook. You can also like it, which will show to other users that these notebooks are working and everything is set up correctly. Speaking about the notebooks, so I will just really quickly execute it and name it as a webinar. After confirming it, it will appear in my home directory somewhere below. And what I would like to show here is the quick selection of the kernels. The kernels, if you are familiar with the Jupyter Hub environment, are the crucial part of actually allowing you to run your code, because in the kernel you have configured packages, Python libraries, and other tools you might need. From EOxHub, you will get access to our curated set of kernels which are available to all our users. Plus, you can create your own if you actually need something more. This was just a very brief introduction, and I will start moving into topics we have not talked about last time. Speaking about the third capability of the Eurodata Cube, and that's sharing and scaling your processing, we introduced insights on demand, meaning that you can actually buy or purchase algorithms produced by other people, and for that you can just purchase them via the credits. But before you, as a user, probably reach that state, you would like to scale up your own processing before doing so. In EOxHub, you have three standard ways how to run your code. One is to actually use Jupyter notebooks to write and test the code and probably process a smaller scale processing. You can then also leverage it as just Python scripts, which you can run in a command line or a terminal, as you would do on your own computer. And if you would like to run some longer running processes, you can actually leverage the options we have with the headless execution of the notebooks. Headless execution of the notebooks is allowing you to run the processing for a longer time. So for example, overnight, and just come in the morning and check the status of the job you have submitted. And it is actually very easy. So I will show you today how you can actually do that, and I will zoom in a bit so you can actually read what I'm doing. What I'm doing here. For that, I will switch to a different window, and because this is what I have prepared. So, as I mentioned, the headless notebooks are only a very regular notebooks with a couple of things needed to be adjusted. This is a very simple notebook where I'm setting values for certain variables, so A and B, and just a very simple function addition, which is returning A plus B. Then I'm storing it into another variable and printing it. So how to transform this notebook into a headless execution? I will just use the cog icon here on the side and take my first cell as a parameters. The parameters is a keyword which needs to be followed in order to set it as a parameter, and this is basically it. Important part on EOxHub is that in order to our processing have access to your notebooks, they need to be placed on a space or a shared folder where our PyGeo API has access. So the headless notebooks are powered by a PyGeo API, which requires some setup from our side. But once you move the notebook to a correct location and set it up as the first cell as a parameters, all is ready for you, and you can actually trigger the job. I will be talking about the shared storage in a couple of minutes, but let's first try how our actual headless demo notebook is running. I will open here a terminal. Okay. I will try now. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I have prepared my workspace a bit before, and right now it is pretending it does not like me. Okay. Sorry for this. I will try to be back very soon. In the meantime, so while it is loading, I will be showing you here one more thing, and that's actually that for the headless execution, I will need to retrieve my token, and the token can be retrieved by going to home and then token and specifying a special name. So I can name my token, for example, nor webinar, and set an expiration as never, and request a new API token. This token will be then used for the actual call of the headless execution. So we should be back here. Perfect. I will zoom in a bit. and try to open the terminal. Perfect, now it is working. And correctly, we have here a headless demo notebook. I have prepared my call on a side, and I will just copy it and explain what it is actually doing. I have posted a very simple call, which is triggering the execution of the notebook with my token, which I have created. And also I'm setting a couple of inputs. So I'm telling with my notebook that I want to execute the headless demo, which is stored in that shared folder called extra. I am also setting some limits, for example, the CPU limit and memory limit, because I don't want to exhaust all the resources I have available. Important thing is that I can also specify a kernel. So for my very simple addition function, I don't need any special library, so I can use just the standard Python 3 kernel. But if you are, for example, doing some geospatial processing, you might need a special kernel with, for example, GeoPandas installed. So for that, you can specify the kernel. The most important part is the actual parameters part, where I'm overwriting and setting the parameters for my parameters cell, which we did in the first cell in the actual code. So here I'm setting that the A should actually have a value 4 and the B should have actually value 5. If I would like to track how my jobs are doing, I can open a new URL where we are having access to watch what jobs are doing. So you can see that a couple of them are failed because I was testing something. There are also successful jobs, and this is already giving you a good idea what is happening and what's the status of the processing. You can access this site for just while you are drinking your morning coffee to check what's the status of the jobs you have submitted before leaving work yesterday. But you would also probably like to see the output of your notebook, and that can be done very easily by accessing a notebook. So I will go back to, for example, this one, and you can see here that we have here one new cell added. This is the cell which is automatically added once we are submitting execution job with different parameters than are the default. So in the first cell we still have a 1 and 22, which was in the original notebook, but the 4 and 5 are the parameters which I have put here into the call. And they are later used for the addition. So as you can see, all the cells were executed, and below the cell number 4 we can see the result that A plus B, meaning 4 plus 5 is indeed 4. Indeed 9. Sorry, my math brain stopped working.
Sorry, Tina, just not to interrupt you. If the participants register and sign up to EuroDataCube, can they find, for example, the headless demo notebook available? So they can follow on?
That's a very good question. Currently, this is not possible because not all the users registered for the free trial has access to the headless execution of the notebook. Okay. What a user can actually do is visit documentation here, and in the section called step-by-step guide, we have notebook execution via OGC Process API, which is exactly what I was showing. And I tried to write down all these steps also here with a sample call, so they can actually take this call and execute it and see if everything is working.
Okay, if you can share the link for the documentation, please.
I will put it into the chat. Okay, amazing. I was talking about that once you are happy with your processes, you would probably like to run it on a larger scale. That's how when headless execution of the notebooks and PyGeo API comes very handy. If you progress with your algorithm development, you will probably reach the stage that you would like to share your results or your algorithms with the world. And for that, EOxHub also offers some features. One of them is actually bring your own algorithm, which is a twin for the data in demand. So last time we were showing how to go into the insights on demand and purchase a data. So as you can see, we already have a lot of algorithms which you can purchase. Maybe this was a bit chaotic, so I will say it in a different word. If you are interested in getting results, for example, for the size algorithm, which is very nice. So, for example, operational Sentinel-3 snow and ice product, you can select the algorithm and actually run it on your own selected AOI, so area of interest, or with some additional parameters. As a user, you can also offer your algorithm to your data cube and to us, and you can sell your results this way. The onboarding is described in the documentation, so I will go back here, and that's actually in the section sell. So you can find here information, so offer algorithms for on-demand data generation, and it is describing how the architecture needs to look like. This process of onboarding your algorithm requires a communication with our team because a lot of things are done specifically to tailor the needs of your algorithm. But in general, what we are doing is taking headless notebooks for together with the cost estimate notebooks and make it available for everyone. We also have here a sample repository. So if you are interested in these options, you can really explore what the format of the algorithm should be and get in touch with us, and we will support you on onboarding the algorithm to be available for everyone. When the user or you would like to actually purchase the algorithm, you can sorry, I unselected it. You can go into Run Algorithm, and it will guide you to our selection tool. So as you can see, I selected the size algorithm, and I will select a date, for example, in May 2021, and I can select the resolution also. There is some information, so it needs to be between 300 meters and 1,200. So I will select the 300 resolution, and I will create the area of interest. Since it is a snow and ice, I will select some north region, so West Fjords on Iceland, and I will confirm the AOI. After the purchase, I will be led to checkout wizard, which is again giving me input parameters for confirmation. So I have selected the date, resolution, and the AOI. And after continuing, it will trigger the cost estimate. The cost estimation can take up to a couple of minutes, and once it is done, you will be notified on this bell icon with a +1, indicating that you received a new estimate. After confirming the cost estimate in the credits, you can also choose a delivery method, so either data directly to be downloaded, or they can also be delivered directly to your EOxHub workspace if you already have one configured. This could be also handy if you directly want to work with the results in your code afterwards, so you don't have to complicatedly transport one data files from one space to another or uploading from your local computer. We spoke more about bring your own algorithm, mainly data on demand last time, so I will not spend much time on that. And I will go back to actually the shared storage I was talking before, because the collaboration options is something we should mention. One of the features we have is the Git extension in the Jupyter Lab, which is very helpful if you are working on a project with multiple people, and you can connect to GitHub or GitLab, and after either uploading your SSH key or a token, you can actually even push directly from the EOxHub and keep your data in sync everywhere. Also, some people prefer not to use actually GitHub for such a things, or they are working with a larger data set. And for that, we have the shared storage called the Extra I was showing. This is a Team Extra space. Sorry, my browser is having some kind of troubles today, so I will try to briefly refresh. Yes, I was telling that the Team Extra is a workspace which is available to everyone in the same team. So, for example, if you are working with a couple of your collaborators on a project together, you can have a setup for a team workspace, and this Team Extra folder is shared between everyone in that team. So whoever has access to that given workspace can modify and store files there, which is very useful for special use cases I will be talking in a minute. This storage, of course, comes with the downside, that meaning that you don't have a version control over it, or someone can just come and delete all your work. But this is something which is a risk everywhere. Okay, I will now switch briefly to a couple of slides and explore a couple of use cases. EOxHub is powering many of these use cases, but for today's webinar, we would like to focus on educational features EOxHub is offering. And for that, we have selected two use cases. Okay, so first of them I would like to talk about is the Cubes and Clouds massive open online course. The course is focusing on a cloud-native open data science for Earth observation, and is done with collaboration with ESA, EURAC Research Center, Jonas Eberle, and EO College, where the actual course is hosted. So if you are interested in the course and learning more about cubes and clouds and the cloud native data science, you can actually just go to eocollege.org and find the course and register for it. And via this course, you will also get a taste of EOxHub and many features. Course is focusing on exploring and teaching the concepts of the data cubes, various cloud platforms, and mainly open science principles. It is separated into 3 parts where students are in a very hands-on form guided to create their own snow cover detection workflow using OpenEO processing, and also in the spirit of open science publish their results. Results are then published on a Stack catalog in the Stack browser, which I find very interesting, that you can actually browse what other students or you did. So just an example, this is how the final product of the course looks like. But now how actually EOxHub is powering this course. If you register for the course, you will be also guided to registration for the EOxHub, where we have a direct integration with the EO College. Currently, we have 156 registered users on EOxHub for this course. The course has a specific workspace, so we know how much students are registered. And 14 of the students managed to finish the course already and publish the results on the Stack browser, as you have just seen. The course is online since beginning of March, so it's still very fresh, and people have up to 3 months to finish the course. So we hope to see much more published results very soon. EOxHub has a direct integration with EO College through single sign-on procedure, meaning that users do not have to register separately for the EOxHub, but can use their EO College registration to directly interact with the course materials. Each student has a separate workspace and persistent home directory, so similar setup what you get when you register for the free trial. They have enough resources to complete all the course workflows and also to run all the notebooks and workflows. We also did a custom kernel with course-specific Python libraries because, as you can imagine, to follow the course it will require some additional packages, and all this is very prepared for students just to be run as they would have to. What is interesting feature is the automatic submission of the results of the Stack browser. This is done via AWS S3 bucket, where students, without even knowing it, upload data there, which triggers automatic upload and update of the Stack browser I was showing here. So I really recommend exploring these options and register for the course, because you can then learn more about the open science, but also play with the EOxHub directly. The second use case I would like to talk about is the on-site course held at the University of Svalbard. This course was done together with a PolarTab, because PolarTab is being powered by EOxHub for some of the parts. And university's course at Svalbard was a 3-day on-site course, as you can see on the picture on the left side. So students were directly in the class, and each of them had their own workspace, but in the same time teachers were preparing the materials and working on a course content together. We have a custom landing page for this, as you can see. So we have prepared a customized URL where only the students from the given course can register. What was also set up is the automatic or manual student approval. So we got a list of students up front, and we were confirming only actual students of the course, so no other people were not able to join. We set up a shared storage for teachers, so the teachers could collaborate and work on the teaching materials up front before the course and just share the materials with the students when ready. And as said, each student had their separate workspace, meaning they were not disturbed by what other students were doing at the moment, and could focus only on their work. We received a very positive feedback about this course, and many students continued using EOxHub through PolarTab for their final projects at the university. Perfect. This was the part which I wanted to show what use cases in the educational front we were supporting, but we can do much more. If you feel that some of these options sounds interesting, I would like to spend a couple of more minutes to actually guide you through what we are actually offering, and what if you are planning to run similar course or you would like to utilize EOxHub in your project, could do with it. I was already mentioning that what we are doing can be a branded landing page, so I forgot to show that, but also the Cubes and Clouds course has a branded landing page through which students can register, connected to that single sign-on through EO College. And we are also offering the integrated plans together with a Sentinel Hub data subscription or a GeoDB for data storage. This is something you can explore through Eurodata Cube and try out how to connect to these services and utilize the resources. We are working, and it's coming soon, 2 other options, and that's bring your own cloud and dashboard as a service. The bring your own cloud service means that, for example, you have your own cloud provider, but you would like to have EOxHub as a platform or as a workspace running on it. Our team or my awesome colleagues could help you set up EOxHub on your own cloud and also maintain it. This is not limited to a base setup, but it can be combined with other features, for example, regarding the resources or any other add-ons. The dashboard as a service is hiding our dashboard for a visualization of the geospatial data, which can be included in your workspace or as a separate feature. The dashboard is powered by a stack browser, so for example, or stack catalogs. So if you have your data in a stack catalog, you can easily display and visualize the data inside the EOxHub and take a look or continue with some visual analysis after that. So for example, if we have the MOOC or the Cubes and Clouds results in the stack catalog form, we could display them on the dashboard directly in the workspace, and students could see how the results are look like. These 2 features you can't actually test at the moment, but they will be soon available. So I recommend staying in touch on checking the news section on our website. What we also offer is the individual configurations. This is very individual, as the name suggests, and we are trying to bring to fulfill the needs of the customers based on what they are looking for. So we are very open to custom setups and the discussions. We have options to set up a notebook viewer with custom notebooks in the launcher. So as I was showing here, the set of notebooks in the launcher, this could be changed with a different setup. This is what we are doing for the Massive Open Online course, where we are presenting only the notebooks relevant for the course. We can also limit and set up for each user a certain amount of node hours on a CPU or GPU nodes. That meaning that, for example, for competitions which EOxHub was powering, each user had access to 4 hours of a GPU to train their models. This setup can be done based on the requirements. Shared storage within the team is something I talked a lot about, and it is a great option when, for example, the teachers need to work on some materials upfront before releasing them to the students. And obviously the kernels with the custom libraries, where we can really try to help with any request you might have, including also some system packages if you need, or some other programming languages. What I really like, and I would like to show just very briefly, is a specific apps. That meaning that some other apps we are providing can be installed in your EOxHub workspace, and you can explore them directly through the launcher. So examples what we did in the past is a Grafana for monitoring and visualization of some statistics, MLflow for ML and deep learning training, tracking, and MLOps, or some other tools. So how it looked like, we then have another tile here. So for example, in this case, MLflow, which can be launched directly within the EOxHub workspace, and you can continue with it. The list of the features we can do are this is not a definitive list, but it is up to individual request and what actually users might want to have set up for the workspace. Okay. So I think I was very fast. So this is the picture of EOX. This is me and my colleagues hidden in the picture there. And I believe this is mainly it. So thank you all for listening, and I hope you have plenty of questions so we can actually answer them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tina. I will just share again the link for the MOOC because I saw that some participants joined us later. And I'm glad you had the opportunity to share it, Tina. So it's a really good resource also for cloud native data processing generally. So if you want to learn more about data cubes and all the notions related to cloud computing, please check it out. It's very useful. And so I was asked if beyond the trial for EOxHub, there is a possibility for sponsorship. Yes. So this is what the NOR initiative provides for students, researchers who want to try out the services. So Federico at the end of the session will be doing a demo of the how to request sponsorship to be able to use EOxHub, for example, if it's suitable for the application or the work you want to conduct in the cloud. And I saw that you also shared the link for the documentation, Tina.
Yes, I have shared the link in the chat.
Perfect, thanks.
So something I have not mentioned, if you would like to directly apply for a NOR sponsorship and you don't want to go through a portal Federico will be showing in a couple of minutes, you can also find a form on our on the EuroDataCube website and just fill out the request there, and it is another way how to reach the same thing. So I will not be showing it because Federico will give you a full tour, but it's another option.
Yeah, maybe we can proceed right away. In the meantime, if we have any questions, we will take them. You want to share your screen?
Okay, yes. Okay. I think you can see my screen. So how to access the resources available to the network of resources, like for instance what Tina showed us for EOxHub. First of all, you need to go to the NOR portal that you can reach by going to nor-discover.org, and you will be redirected to the network of resources homepage. The Network of Resources is an initiative, and you can find some useful information about what is the NOR and what are the different providers and the different services available to the NOR directly by scrolling down the home page, or you can go to the different sections of the NOR portal. For instance, you have some news about new providers that are onboarded, that were onboarded recently in the network of resources, or other news related to the NOR in general. And you can also go to the outreach page, where you can find all the previous recordings for the NOR webinar series. And you can also find the first section here that Tina was mentioning at the beginning of her presentation, if you want a more, let's say, general overview on EOxHub. Then, by going to the portfolio web page, you can find the link to access the NOR portfolio, where you have all the different services available through the network of resources. By clicking Access it here, you will be redirected to a new web page, and here you have all the different services and providers. You can just scroll down the page or search by text search or applying some filters. If you go down here, you can find, for instance, EOxHub. And we have some details about the different services, the collections that are available through this provider, and the provider help desk link. This is important because we always advise you to contact first the provider in order to understand that the services that the provider provides are really helpful for your project. And then when you have, let's say, found what you are looking for, you can go to the pricing wizard that will redirect you to a form. This is the form that you need to fill out if you want to ask, for instance, for a sponsorship. You need to start by saying what is the project type you're working on. We have 4 different project types: commercial, research, pre-commercial, and educational. And we want to remind you that only research, pre-commercial, and educational projects are eligible for ESA funding. Let's say we are working on a research project. We can then select the different services we want to request a sponsorship for by clicking the tick box, and we can also change the number of subscriptions, for instance, that we want, the duration in months, and so on. And by going at the bottom of the page, we will have an overview of the total cost of what we are asking for. Then we have 2 different options that are directly going to the provider website for purchase these services, or ask ESA for a sponsorship. In this case, we have 2 different possibilities. The first one is, let's say, selecting if we are working or not on an ESA project. If we are working on an ESA project, we need to have an ESA official contract number and an ESA technical officer assigned to our project. And so let's say we are not working on an ESA project, and if you want or not to confound the cost. We want to remind you that sponsorship are eligible, the requests for sponsorship are eligible only up to 5,000 euros. So if you want to apply for more resources, you still can, but you need to confound the costs that exceed this amount. Let's say we are not confounding the cost in this case, and then we click Ask ESA for sponsorship. We will be then redirected to a new web page, and here we have all the different fields that we need to fill out for completing the form, starting with the project title, then the name of the project coordinator, the work category of the project coordinator, the official email address. This is really important. It must be the organization email address. We cannot accept personal email addresses like Gmail and so on. So we want to see that you are sending the request from an official email address, the project organization name, country, web page, and address. Then you have all the different fields related to the project itself, starting from the project objectives, so which are the final goals of your project, the implementation methodology that you want to use to reach these goals, and expected results. Then, and this is why we ask you to contact first the service provider, you have the justification for selected services and provider. Here we want to see why you decided to go with these specific services, for instance, and which are the reasons why you choose these services. And this is linked to the description of work within the cloud environment, because we want to remind you the network of resources is an initiative aiming to bring user to data. So we want to see that you will work within the cloud environment. The network of resources is not a way to access direct data. For this, there are other ESA initiatives. In this case, what we want to see is what is the work you will do within the environment provided by the provider. And the geographical area of interest of the project. For instance, if you're working over a city, more cities, a region, and so on. Then, the last things that you need to do are to select if it's the first time you have applied to NOR for sponsorship. If it's not the first time, you then need to state the previous request ID. Then, if you are working on an ESA project, you need to say here the ESA contract number and the ESA technical officer. You will have then an overview of the different services you are requesting and the total cost. And in the end, you need to select an expected date of submission of the set of slides in month and year. What is the set of slides? It's a set of 4 or 5 slides done in PowerPoint or any PowerPoint-like software, where you clearly state why and how the resources you requested through the network of resources were helpful for your project. We don't want to see all the results of the project. We want to see how you use the resources you requested through the NOR. This is important. And it's also mandatory when you accept the, let's say, to apply for ESA sponsorship. Then you can or cannot sign for the NOR newsletter, and you must accept the ESA privacy policy. Once you have done all of these steps, you can export the sponsoring request. It will generate a PDF file. You need to download the PDF file, sign it, and if you are working on an ESA project, you need to have the PDF also signed by the ESA technical officer. And then the last thing to do is email the form to nor-sponsorship-request@esa.int. Then it will start the procedure of the evaluation of the proposal, and usually it takes around 6 working days, but it might take also longer if we need more information. But in that case, you will be contacted to specify more details about the project. That's it from my side, so I stop sharing.
Thanks a lot, Federico. So I hope that answers the questions about the NOR sponsorship. And as always, if you have any further clarifications or questions, feel free to reach out to us. We will answer them offline. So about the NOR sponsorship to Federico or myself, and for EOxHub to Tina or Stefan, we can answer your questions offline. Thank you, Tina, for the nice presentation. Thanks, everyone. There will be a form that will pop up when you leave the webinar, so please, for all the participants, feel free to complete it to help us enhance the training experience. And I hope to see you soon in the next session next week. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.